Today we are in a really nice 1972 FJ40 transformed into an ICON FJ44. Specifically, this is number 125. So where do we start? Well, I guess obviously it is white. It is our quartz white, actually one of my favorite colors on the FJs. It really works well in the contrast of all the black trim and the black top, and in this case especially with my new forged aluminum old school wheels with OEM vintage stainless hubcaps. The wheels look great in black or gray or in some cases body color, but for some reason, especially on the Bronco, people keep doing them white, which I feel is not right. It's just too bright. Hey, I'm a poet. Makes them look too big. In reality, they are large. They're an 18-inch wheel, but that is necessary to clear the ICON sport brakes designed by Brembo. And frankly, while aesthetically I'd prefer a 16-inch wheel, I will take the incredible braking performance over a 16-inch wheel. So I consider that a worthy compromise. Okay. Quartz customized front bumper. We added more lights to it, as you see, outboard of the usual ICON LED lights. We added two more that are amber. While we're on the subject of lights, we can have a longer conversation there. So you've noticed in the last 20 or so trucks, we've added high output interior LED dome lights, which are very welcomed. I'm actually playing with one that I could fit on the roll bar that would pencil spot beam the lights, wiper, fan, vent, and temp switches, but I haven't found the right light yet. If you're an LED expert, please do reach out. We'd love a partner on that. But that really was not the point of my story. Lights on the outside. This truck will be moving to Mexico, and he's going to be using it off-road a lot, even on his own property to get in and out. So we have rock crawling lights, so by Rigid, inside of the front and rear wheel wells, controlled by one of these mini dash switches, you can light up the left or right wheel wells to see your immediate path. And I actually did that on my old crawler, and I actually did it different. I used a Cadillac turn signal switch on the GM column, and the Cadillac ones are unique because they have a constant out power when you turn the signals on, so before it goes to the flasher. And what was cool about that is just right there on the stalk, I could turn on the left signal or actually just tap it down a bit and light that path. It's pretty cool. We also did the usual ICON auxiliary LED reverse light. You may notice the spare tire bumper carrier party is slightly modified on this truck. For this client, we made a custom jerry can carrier that rotates the can 90 degrees, allowing you to carry two, and also creates a nice mounting provision for a high lift jack. On the outside, what else do we have? Obviously, the worn winch with Viking recovery gear, synthetic lead line. We have the reverse camera built into the bumper. The more astute viewers will notice that we listened to the community. I don't know why I didn't think of it originally, and we relocated the reverse camera higher up so that it is now above the hitch. So when you're trying to dock your trailer, it is a very useful tool, as opposed to previously it would have been useless. The usual CNC'd clasps for the twin carriers, and then obviously, or I guess not obviously, but there's storage within that bumper, locking storage, and then those carriers are 3-axis braced to the frame, and then the pivot point is fluted so you can lubricate it, and then there's little like CNC ramps and spring pins, so when you rotate those out to the 90-degree position, they lock there until you pull the pin. That way it's not coming back and beating up your tailgate or going into traffic lanes, because, well, you just don't want to be that guy, either of those guys. the recently redesigned ICON rear view mirrors, the ICON private label front LED headlights with glow rings that excite with your turn signals. And on the outside, I think that's pretty much it. This one does not have a roof rack, which personally I just really like the look of a 4.4 without a rack. Just looks more hunched and haunched down. Something cool about that. It's interesting, it just changes, you know, simple things like that can really change the overall vibe of a vehicle. Try and engineer and design everything so it all like flows in chorus, but if you have one or don't have another option, it still can change the personality of the truck. Mechanically, this truck is running our new standard motor, which is a GM LS3. Great power, wider torque band, you feel it right away. That engine is delivering its power through a 4L65E General Motors automatic 4-speed transmission with overdrive. That in turn sends power through to the Atlas to twin stick, shift on the fly, part-time 4-wheel drive transfer case. Drive shafts are 3/4 ton overrated with 1310s, and in keeping with the overrated theme, the rear axle is a Dana 60 Pro Rock high pinion built by our friends at Dynatrack, and the front axle is a 44 based unit upgraded from stem to stern. And then outboard, as mentioned, that has the ICON Sport brakes by Brembo. That is 6 pots in the front, 4 pots in the rear with dedicated parking brake. Really nice brake system. And then we're running the ARB locking differentials in the front and rear axle with dedicated air compressor. Is that it mechanically? Yeah, that's it. Moving on to the inside, we have seating for 6 in this 4.4. We have the 4 forward-facing bucket seats. In the 3rd row on this truck, we did the removable folding jump seats. They appear to be stock, but they are not. We added a little bit of rake to make them just slightly more comfortable. Better closed cell, high-density foam, and bumpers that take the weight when they're down on the fender and kill the rattle. Thicker gauge sheet metal as well. The original ones had some rusting problems and some tubular steel fatigue cracking in their defense after like 50 or 60 years of use. But anyway, we wanted to learn and evolve from that lesson. Chilowich textiles on all seats, seat heaters, carbon fiber 3-stage blankets in the 1st and 2nd row of seats. The Chilowich theme continues through to the rubber-backed Dynamat lined removable floor mats, and then you'll notice the floors as well as the underside of the body assembly are coated in heat-cured polyurea. Other details, I got a new camera, so pardon as I geek out on Ken Burnsing stills. You know what that means? I guess it's the dude who came up with either the idea or the tech, but I can load high-res stills when I'm editing the video and like create pans and stuff. It's good fun. So you notice through my magical photography, the CNC'd parking brake handle and pin, the CNC'd seat hardware, the CNC'd optional door map pockets, and the new inside door release. That's standard equipment. Also through that, the lovely new Canon lens, the AC vents that are CNC'd and black anodized. They're used by Cessna and other aircraft suppliers or aircraft companies from the same supplier. And then you have our stainless windshield frame lock hinges. Those are updated really like the last year, where they control up and down motion. Killed another rattle, yay! Ignition, you'll notice our nifty key port system, which integrates all keys into a little switchblade-like thingamajigger. There is also a LED work light in there and a 8 gig memory stick, onto which we shove all of the care and feeding and PDF manuals from suppliers and everything you are going to need to know about your ICON. We also stuff it full of all of the build photos from the original Beat to Hell truck through to ta-da, what we are driving today. CNC'd dash panels, my backlit in blue, Dakota Digital engineered, me designed gauge panels, glove box, cluster, and clock. Who needs a clock? Nobody, but yes, if you don't know it already, I admit I am a watch and clock geek. So it seemed like a good opportunity to design a clock no one needed, but it looks cool. Under dash, there is a gaggle of switches. You have the usual 3 switches for the ARB controls, and then there are 5 new ones, which are for the various lighting systems. In the cargo area, the client asked us to put a Viair high output air compressor with a pony tank, and you'll notice there's a little gauge and an on-off switch there in the back in the cargo area. It's kind of nifty. It was a total pain in the ass to do because we had to bury the, well, we didn't have to, but we sexy buried the plumbing through the wheel well and all sorts of niftiness. Came out really nice though. I think he's gonna have a good time. Sport pedals, ICON fire extinguisher, audio. We did the higher end focal audio system. So that's running the good old 8200 NEX head unit with the higher output amp and bass option, plus the higher grade focal speakers. What else? The new ICON center console, of course, in all its glory. And, you know, Bluetooth, CarPlay, reverse camera, blah, blah, blah. All right, that's enough. I am promptly gonna shut up. I appreciate you fine folks taking the time to come support my brand and watch another video of our creations. It's a totally organic effort to try and better communicate what we are up to because, well, a good old website just ain't gonna cut it. There's so many layers to the onions that we grow. So hopefully this helped do just that. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us, old school, telephone 818-280-3333. For social media, personally, I find our Instagram to be the most diverse and entertaining, and you can find us on Instagram at ICON 4x4. You already found the YouTube channel, so I don't need to talk about that. On Facebook, it is ICON 4x4, or my personal page, Jonathan Ward. Thanks again. You guys be well.